There we go. Hi everybody, whether friend, family, stranger, person that happened to click on a random link because they thought it had something to do with weight loss surgery. You're watching and you're either going to shut me off or you're going to listen, so hi. I know that I had said I was going to do a video blog probably a couple months ago. I tend to say a lot of things and then don't follow through on them, so this is part of me trying to make some adjustments and actually follow through on something I said I was going to do. It took me a while to decide to do it though, because I wasn't really sure if I wanted to write out a script, if I wanted to just talk. Making a video though is actually kind of intimidating for me because I'm my own worst critic and I set myself up for failure in a lot of ways, that I'm fearful of the response I'm going to get or the response I'm not going to get, and I tend to think about 90 different things that could happen by me making a simple video, and so instead of worrying about that, I'm just going to talk. And I didn't write anything down, have no clue what I'm going to talk about. Hopefully I don't bore you to tears and you shut me off halfway through. So the past few weeks, well, I can start with, I had gastric bypass surgery in January of 2010. It's been about 2 years plus since I had my surgery, and I am down, as of yesterday when I stepped on the scale, I was down about 127 pounds. I had been at a lower weight after I had my daughter, and I did regain weight. No excuses there, I simply ate like crap. Didn't do anything physically because I couldn't. I got very sick and have been sick for a while. Has nothing to do with the gastric bypass itself, more with the choices that I made after gastric bypass. Didn't take vitamins like I should, didn't eat like I should. I didn't actually start eating the bad foods until during my pregnancy, when I was forced to have calories. Before that, I actually ate less than 500 calories a day, which is not at all the right way to do things, despite what the media kind of puts out there. I stuck to my portion sizes, but I still was not eating nearly enough to sustain a healthy lifestyle. So you combine not eating enough, not taking any vitamins, it just wasn't a good situation. And then you add a pregnancy on top of that, I became severely anemic and severely vitamin D and calcium deficient, and so I got sick. And after I had my daughter, I also found that I had a hernia. So physically, I was kind of restrained, I was really tired, and I was just miserable altogether. Constantly complaining. Anybody who reads my Facebook knows that it just felt like one thing after another. And yes, I knew at the time that had I taken my vitamins or done what I was supposed to do, probably could have prevented about 80% of what was going on around me with my body, but it didn't sink in to actually get off my rear end and do something about it. I focus on my kids, I focus on my husband, I focus on my friends, but it's very rare that I actually take the time to focus on myself and on what I should be doing for me. It wasn't until actually a barbecue that we had for my birthday, and having my birthday present be a bag full of vitamins and protein shakes, which my friend said it was a hint that they wanted me around for a while, and I'm sure she's watching, or if I haven't bored her to tears, shut us off by now, but she knows who she is, and many of you probably know who she is. And it wasn't until that moment that I realized that it was taking care of my children by taking care of myself. So I had to start doing something. So for the past few weeks, I've been trying to make an effort, and I know for at least the past week, I'm not really sure when we started doing it, but a few friends and I have actually started posting when we take our vitamins, and I know that, at least for me, it has been insanely helpful. Having someone to hold me accountable when they don't see that I have taken my morning or my midday or my evening or my bedtime medicine, calling me on that and letting me know, hey, we haven't heard from you, have you done this? It just made me feel a little bit more accountable to somebody else. And when you struggle with taking care of yourself, feeling that accountability to someone else does tend to help, at least in my case. So I for the past week, for sure, I've taken every single one of my vitamins. I've taken all of my medication, including Ambien, which we are trying to get me off at this point because I don't like not remembering. And yeah, it's not a good feeling to have no clue what you did the night before and feeling like you had slept the entire time, but then being told by your friends and family that no, you are actually engaged in conversations and activities that you just have no recollection of. And it's not as fun as if you were to get drunk and have fun and have a good time. It's nothing. It's complete blackout. So that is the one medication that I am trying to get off, but that is completely off topic and a subject I could probably go on for another video. Basically, I've been struggling a lot with self-image and just doing the right thing for the surgery. And a lot of surgeons have rules, and this rule, protein first, don't drink with your meals, this amount of calories, that amount of calories, this amount of carbs, and everybody has a different response to how many or how much or what this, what that. And I realized that I was struggling with that because I don't like feeling like I'm failing this process. I don't like that. I know for a fact that some of my friends feel like I took the easy way out by having gastric bypass, my non-surgery friends. I know that they think that, while they would never say it to my face and probably would never even comment on this video saying that they are those friends. I know they're there, but I can tell you that it's the hardest process and hardest thing I've ever had to go through. And especially since it was self-inflicted, I kind of wonder a lot, what the hell did I do? But there is nothing easy about having your entire digestive, blonde, natural, as proven now, your digestive tract rearranged and rerouted, and having to retrain your entire process of thinking about food and your relationship with food in an instant. There was no gearing up for 6 months for me. It was, you're going to have surgery. It's in a few weeks. You better just learn to deal with it. And I didn't. I didn't learn to deal with it. I was horrible. I didn't eat enough. And then when I started to eat enough, it was the wrong foods. And I got myself right back in the cycle that got me to be 327 pounds. So I've been struggling a lot with following the rules and being good and doing the right thing. And I realized today that it has nothing to do with the scale. If I don't ever lose another pound, that's okay with me. What's not okay with me is that I'm not living my life the way that I should be. And that means eating the right things. That means cutting the Diet Dr. Pepper out. That means just setting an example for my children. I have 4 kids, for crying out loud. And if I sit here and drink an entire 12-pack of Diet Dr. Pepper and then tell them, no, you need to drink water, that's baloney. And eventually they're going to be the age where they're going to call me on that. So this video has basically turned into me making a fool of myself, gestational. Obviously, 4 children, gestational kind of comes to mind. But it's also turned into a way to just hold myself accountable. And on those days where I am drinking too much soda or I'm not getting off my rear end and exercising and setting a good example, then I can tell myself, you need to get up, you need to move, you need to do the right things. It has nothing to do with the scale at this point. I have lost over 100 pounds, over 120 pounds, and that's great. But I didn't do it the right way, and I'm not living the right way. So from this moment forward, that is going to be what my effort is. It has nothing to do with the scale. In fact, if my husband wasn't insisting on weighing himself, I would toss the scale out tonight. But the scale's in the house. I'm just going to have to learn to stay off of it, because the scale, no matter, it no longer matters to me. What I need to focus on and what my plan is for moving forward is just to live my life right, and that's to take care of myself. So hopefully you've gained something, learned something. Even if you haven't learned anything, you at least got to laugh at me for making an ass of myself. So have a good night. Bye.